What if your home could feel like a quiet French chateau, where spring light lingers on stone and soft neutral tones never go out of style? The entrance feels like a quiet welcome, the kind that immediately slows your pace. Soft daylight washes over the pale stone and warm wood, and everything feels balanced, calm, and gracious. There is a refined ease in the air, as if the house is opening its arms without trying too hard. You can almost hear the hush of spring outside while standing inside this elegant, grounded beginning. The living room feels effortlessly serene, with sunlight drifting across the floor like a soft ribbon. The stone fireplace gives the room a sense of permanence, while the restrained palette keeps everything light and breathable. It is the sort of space where conversation would linger late into the afternoon. Nothing feels loud here, only deeply considered, warm, and beautifully still, like a quiet breath held in a perfect room. This dining room has a gentle, intimate elegance that makes even an ordinary meal feel special. The daylight softens every surface, and the long table seems to invite slow gatherings and easy conversation. There is a graceful tension between the clean lines and the rustic warmth, giving the room its character. It feels polished but never cold, like a place where memories would gather naturally over time. The kitchen feels bright, calm, and wonderfully livable, the kind of place where the morning begins with ease. Sunlight touches the pale surfaces and makes the whole room glow softly, while the darker wood adds just enough depth to keep it grounded. It carries that effortless French charm, but in a very restrained way. Nothing shouts for attention, yet everything feels inviting, practical, and quietly luxurious. This family room has the relaxed feeling of a space made for unhurried days. Light pours in gently, softening the edges of the stone and linen, and the whole room seems to breathe with the season outside. It feels intimate without being small, elegant without feeling precious. You can imagine sinking in here with a book or a long conversation, surrounded by calm, comfort, and a sense of quiet refuge. The home office feels like a place where thoughts would come clearly and work would feel less like effort. Sunlight falls across the desk in a soft, generous way, and the room carries a sense of discipline without losing warmth. The materials feel honest and soothing, and the whole space has an almost meditative stillness. It is refined, but also personal, like a room that respects both focus and beauty. The master bedroom feels hushed and restorative, the kind of room that makes you exhale the moment you step inside. Morning light spills across the surfaces with a softness that feels almost poetic, while the muted tones wrap the room in calm. It is elegant in a very quiet way, never trying to impress. Instead, it offers peace, comfort, and the feeling of waking up somewhere deeply beautiful. This reading nook feels like a small pocket of stillness hidden inside a larger, gracious home. The daylight is soft and honest, warming the stone and linen until everything feels gentle and lived in. It is the sort of place where time would lose its urgency. One chair, one good book, one quiet afternoon. That is all it asks for, and somehow it feels complete, calm, and deeply comforting. The breakfast area feels easy and graceful, like the first peaceful moment of the day. Light moves across the table and floor with a soft spring brightness, and the connection to the garden beyond gives the room a fresh, waking energy. It is simple in the best way, intimate and relaxed, with a feeling of quiet optimism. You can imagine slow coffee, open windows, and an unhurried start. This indoor terrace feels like the house's breath of fresh air, a place where light becomes part of the architecture. The daylight is generous and alive, touching the stone and wood with a softness that feels almost outdoors. It has the calm of a garden room but the comfort of an interior, making it feel both open and protected. The mood is airy, elegant, and quietly uplifting. Let this space remind you that true luxury isn't about excess. It's about calm, light, and the quiet confidence of a room that feels both timeless and deeply welcoming.